Hello, my name is Tomasz Poszytek, and welcome to the second video of the series around Power Tool agents for Microsoft Teams. In this video, I will walk you through the concept of topics. So what is topic, how do we use it, and well, why actually it exists. Basically, when we provision a bot, our first bot, we are given 4 user topics so that we can actually onboard ourselves with how the topics are created, what are the structure, what we can do with them. They're by default active, so we can actually use them. Plus, we are given 8 system topics that we can amend, we can modify. However, we cannot delete them. The system topics are used to greet a user, to buy a user, to say them goodbye, to display a user a survey after the conversation is completed, asking them for their satisfaction, for their happiness, also to confirm the success so that the conversation actually ended up with a positive outcome, and the same for the failure. And also to help you to escalate your conversation in case of any errors to, for example, human agent or other system. All right, so what is actually a topic? Basically, a topic is the way a bot is trained to drive a conversation. Each topic is actually a single conversation around a specific subject that the bot can maintain. So for example, you can have topics around specific questions, where within a topic the bot will try to answer that specific question. Or if you create a bot that is going to help you go through a process of, for example, placing a new holiday request, then the topic is going to be actually the whole logic that stands behind this request. So now how the topic is created. Once we navigate to the new topic, we are asked to place its name, to define its name as well. Again, make it descriptive so that you know what this conversation is going to be about. And then to define those trigger phrases. Maybe not my Q&A, but this is going to be a simple test this time. Then trigger phrases are those keywords, are those sentences that we predict a user might type in the conversation with our bot that should actually execute, that should actually make the bot navigate and start the conversation around that specific keywords. Now, the more the keywords you put in here, the more those trigger phrases you define, the better the AI model is going to be built so that the bot is going to be more aware, more convenient, that once a user types in a sentence that looks very similar to one of those trigger phrases that were defined here, it should actually navigate to that conversation, to that topic, and start its logic. So let me show you how it works. So in this scenario, in this example, I actually have created 5 of these trigger phrases that are following the same pattern nearly perfectly. There should be quite a different ones so that they're not very, very similar. However, they are all following this test keyword so that whenever that should work, right? Like whenever I type in something, a sentence with a test word in it, then the bot should actually navigate here and start this conversation. Now, right now, once I did that, I can go to authoring canvas. The authoring canvas is actually the place where you are designing how this conversation around that specific topic should look like. So what is the flow of the conversation? In each node, so that's a node, you can either create an action that asks a question to the user, and that asks a question is something I mentioned around the entities. So when asking a question to a user, you can then try to choose how to identify the outcomes. So you can either use the multiple choice options, so you can just define the options for the user, which will end up as those branches under the conditions, or you can select to grab and save as a variable the user's entire response, Or you can choose one of those pre-built entities that are present. So that is an example that if you like to ask user for their age, and you'd like to simply extract the whole number, that is the user's age or the car's age or whatever's age, then you need to choose this entity that is called age to identify what actually the user typed in. So what is the whole number behind that user response? Now, the other options that we have are actually to show a message. So just to simply display a message to the end user without any activity from the user's side. Or we can as well go to another topic. So we can simply navigate to another topic if we think that the conversation at this point is over, but maybe user would be interested in continuing this conversation in the other area for the other subject. And also we can end this conversation with a survey, which will simply display the user the confirmed success system topic with a question to the user: how did you like this conversation? Did it help you? How do you rate it? And so on. The one thing that I didn't show you as well is that we also have the call and action. The call and action allows us to call the Power Automate or to create Power Automate flows so that we can actually create them to extend the capabilities of the basic topic. I will show you how to do it and how to use them in another video. Also, if we do have configured the authentication that is using the OAuth 2.0 provider like Azure AD, then this action to authenticate a user, to trigger authentication, would be enabled, and I could place it in my conversation, which simply would trigger the user, would trigger the bot to display user a question or the request to authenticate. Now, once we start creation of our conversation, then there are also new actions, new logic that we can add. So once we're within the conversation, we're also always able to put the condition. So for example, here I'm able to make a condition that if the user's age is higher than 18, then I will display different information. What is also important is that if we do have the authentication set to Microsoft Teams one, then we are always having these two variables, these two global variables with us. So the user display name, the one with whom the bot is conversating, and the user Azure AD. So the one that we can use, for example, when calling Power Automate, when calling in Power Automate Office 365 service that is expecting the user UPN to be provided. All right, so let me show you how this very short example of topic can work. I need now to save it. Now it has to refresh, and then I will be able to start conversating. So you see, I wrote at my age 25, and then the bot was able actually to extract just a 25 number. In my next video, I will show you how you can actually extend the basic capabilities of topics with Power Automate flows. So how you can call a flow from Power Virtual Agents and where actually these flows are stored and how to use them. If you like this video, then obviously subscribe, leave a comment below and thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next time.